Court documents have now confirmed what many fans had only speculated for years. Michael was scammed out of $235,000 by none other than Angela Deem. Yes, the Angela from 90 Day Fiancé is once again in deep legal trouble, as shocking new evidence has surfaced showing that she defrauded her former husband, Michael Ilasami, while he was still living in Nigeria. Let's break down all the juicy details, so don't scroll away. Following Angela's filing for an annulment in a Georgia court back in June 2024, where she claimed Michael only married her to get a green card, things have gotten messy. She even went as far as hiring a private investigator to back up her accusations, framing Michael as a scammer who used her to enter the U.S. But, plot twist, when the court found Michael not guilty, it completely blew up in Angela's face. According to Michael's legal team, all the legal criteria required to validate a marriage in Georgia were met: mutual agreement, legal age, mental capacity, and, yes, even consummation. So now her annulment case could get thrown out entirely. Michael's side isn't holding back. His attorney pointed out that Angela was the one chasing him when they first started talking online, and she was also the one who suggested they meet in person in Nigeria. So this idea that Michael manipulated her for immigration purposes? Completely baseless. But here's where things get really wild. In new filings that have stunned fans and legal observers alike, it's revealed that Michael actually gave Angela over $235,000 between May 2018 and December 2023. Yes, you heard that right. Angela reportedly asked Michael to send the money, claiming she was saving it for them to use once she got a driver's license and found a job. Not only that, she demanded 95% of the show's profits and had Michael footing her bills, even while they were married. According to court records, Angela used Michael for her own gain, financial and fame-related. She was allegedly the one who pushed him to join the show, turning their relationship into a reality TV spectacle. Then, things exploded online. After a fan page leaked the court filings on Instagram, followers lost it. One fan commented, "Wait, he sent her that much? If that's true, give him his citizenship right now." Another added, "Oh, now you're in trouble for posting the truth. He's got receipts. He's already paid the price." Some were skeptical, wondering how a Nigerian man could afford to send that much money. But many longtime fans knew. Michael was surviving off cameos, custom fan videos, which he sold while still in Nigeria. Even then, he was aware that Angela was pocketing all the TLC earnings, since the network doesn't pay international cast members directly. So let's get real. Angela wasn't the victim. Michael was. And it wasn't just financial abuse. Court. Insiders say Michael was subjected to emotional and physical abuse, all while being wrongly accused in public. Now, all eyes are on this legal battle. Sources claim that Angela is scrambling. Allegedly, she's trying to manipulate the situation, urging Michael to drop the lawsuit. Even more disturbing, she's reportedly attempting to seize the funds from his GoFundMe, possibly to regain control or stop him from fighting back in court. Recent court documents have revealed that Michael Ilasami, former husband of 90 Day Fiancé star Angela Deem, was allegedly defrauded of more than $235,000 while he was still in Nigeria. The scandal has flipped the narrative entirely. While Angela initially painted Michael as a scammer and even filed for an annulment in Georgia in June 2024, claiming he used her to gain permanent U.S. residency, the tables may have just turned. According to new legal filings, Michael met every legal requirement for a valid marriage, including mutual consent and consummation. The court is now being urged to dismiss Angela's annulment request. Not only that, but Michael's legal team is stating that it was Angela who chased the relationship, initiated their online contact, and even traveled to Nigeria to meet him, destroying the narrative that she was tricked into marriage. The most shocking revelation? Between May 2018 and December 2023, while still in Nigeria, Michael allegedly sent Angela over $235,000. Angela told him the money was being transferred to a joint account to prepare for their future until she could get a job and driver's license. She reportedly demanded 95% of the show's profits, and Michael even helped cover her bills, despite TLC not paying non-U.S. cast members like him. According to court filings, Angela used Michael not just emotionally, but financially, exploiting him for both money and reality TV fame. She's also the one who suggested he join the show in the first place. The internet quickly caught fire when fan pages leaked the court filings. One fan commented, "Is there proof he sent the money? That's insane if true. Give him citizenship now." Another added, "He's got receipts. He already paid the price." While some questioned how a man living in Nigeria could send that much, others pointed out that Michael had been hustling, selling cameos, building a following, while Angela cashed in from TLC. It's now becoming clear that Angela may have been the true manipulator, not the victim she claimed to be. Michael presses forward with legal action. Fans are rallying behind him, especially after reports emerge that Angela is trying to interfere with his case. Allegedly, she's been pressuring Michael to drop the lawsuit and even attempting to access his GoFundMe legal fund, which supporters donated to help him fight back. These actions, if true, paint a disturbing picture. One where Angela continues, trying to control the situation even after they're split, and it doesn't stop there. Angela's online rants have become erratic. In one video, she shouts, "I don't care what y'all think about me. I know the real story." But to many, it looks like someone who's panicking as her version of events begins to unravel. Michael, meanwhile, has remained calm and focused. He launched a defamation suit against Angela, determined to clear his name once and for all. And in a twist no one saw coming, the very private investigator Angela hired to expose Michael ended up testifying in his favor. He found zero evidence of cheating, scamming, or any misconduct. In fact, he called Michael innocent. The courtroom was left stunned. Angela's entire case began to crumble under scrutiny. Her evidence lacked substance, while Michael's team delivered solid documentation, timelines, and testimony that contradicted every one of her claims. Even Angela's accusations of Michael living a double life in Nigeria were debunked as pure speculation. At its core, this isn't just about a failed relationship. It's a battle for reputation, justice, and freedom. Michael went from being accused of using Angela for a green card to being recognized as the true victim in this toxic saga. He's fought through emotional manipulation, public humiliation, and financial betrayal. And now, with the truth unfolding and the public on his side, Michael might finally get the freedom he deserves, not just from Angela, but from the cloud she's cast over his life. The private investigator Angela hired unexpectedly became Michael's strongest ally. Describing Michael as an honest, straightforward man unfairly caught in Angela's vendetta, his testimony dealt a final, crushing blow to Angela's case. As the verdict approached, the courtroom was tense. Angela sat visibly shaken, her face a mix of anger and disbelief, struggling to accept that the man she spent years with and accused of betrayal might actually be innocent. When the judge cleared Michael of all charges, the room erupted in applause. Michael was victorious, his name was cleared, but Angela refused to accept the verdict quietly. Shouting at the judge, Michael, and even the investigator, she unleashed a furious tirade accusing the investigator of being bribed. Yet her fiery outburst was met with indifference. The courtroom had already shifted its focus to celebrating Michael's win. Michael remained calm, unfazed by Angela's screams. He had seen this side of her before, but now it no longer affected him. Freed legally and emotionally, Michael was ready to move forward. As Angela stormed out, still shouting insults, Michael felt peace. He had fought hard, and now his life was his own again, ready for a fresh start supported by friends and family. Yet Angela's fury simmered on. Refusing to back down, she continued spreading rumors, appearing on shows and social media to attack Michael's reputation. But her rants only made her look bitter and defeated. Meanwhile, Michael embraced his freedom, reconnecting with old friends, diving into projects he had shelved for years, and even opening up to new relationships. The trial was a turning point, a moment Michael realized he owed no one proof of his worth, especially not Angela. Vindicated, he focused on his happiness and future. Over time, Angela's anger faded from public view, her credibility waning even among supporters. Michael thrived, finally living without Angela's shadow. She was left alone to face the fallout of her own actions, a tarnished reputation, and the bitter truth that in trying to tear Michael down, she only destroyed herself. For years, Michael had endured a relationship driven more by endurance than love. At first, he was drawn to Angela's fiery spirit and confidence, hoping to find true loyalty and love. But his devotion was met with suspicion and rejection. Despite his relentless efforts, early calls, constant reassurances, thoughtful gestures, Angela rarely returned his affection. Instead, she met him with accusations and anger. Too much attention made him needy, too little, unfaithful. Even kind surprises were twisted into manipulations. Trapped in a lose-lose, Michael found himself treated as a silent, obedient figure rather than an equal partner. A close friend once bluntly said, "Angela treated Michael like a dog," which painfully rang true. Michael was expected to obey without question, his feelings dismissed, while Angela controlled the relationship with barking commands. There, arguments grew more frequent and intense as Michael struggled to have his voice heard. Whenever Michael tried to speak up, to explain his side or share how he really felt, Angela would cut him off, shouting, "Shut up, Michael!" Her voice full of frustration and disdain, she never let him finish. It didn't matter if the argument was over something small or serious. Michael's thoughts were always dismissed, his voice silenced as if it held no value. But this wasn't just about winning fights. Angela used this silencing as a way to control the entire narrative of their relationship, making sure only her side was heard. Michael's feelings, his love, hurt, frustration, and desperation were bottled up and never allowed to surface. Over time, this constant shutdown drained Michael's spirit. He grew quieter, more reserved, afraid that speaking up might trigger another angry outburst. The man who once had energy and light dimmed under the weight of Angela's relentless negativity. Yet, Michael stayed committed, convinced that if he just loved harder, proved his loyalty beyond doubt, Angela would finally see how genuine his love was. He wanted her to understand that he wasn't like the men who had hurt her before. But, no matter what he did, Angela's insecurities kept her from accepting his love. This toxic dynamic culminated in the court case where Angela accused Michael of cheating, scamming, and manipulation. As the accusations mounted, Michael felt the crushing weight of all those years trying to prove love to someone who wouldn't believe it. Sitting in that courtroom, surrounded by lawyers and witnesses, he remembered every time he'd been silenced, every moment Angela chose doubt over trust. This trial was more than a legal battle. It was the ultimate test of his love. But this time, Michael wasn't fighting just to prove himself to Angela. He was fighting to show the world the truth. When Angela's own private investigator declared Michael innocent, relief washed over him like a tidal wave. For years, he'd bent over backwards to prove he was a good man deserving of trust. Now, the truth was out there, clear for all to see. Michael wasn't the villain Angela painted him as. He was a man wronged and silenced, finally given a voice. Angela's reaction was predictable. She erupted in rage, refusing to accept the verdict. But Michael didn't care. For the first time in years, he felt free from her control. He had won, not just in court, but in life. Walking out of that courtroom, head held high, Michael knew this was a new beginning. He was done proving his love to someone who refused to see it. Now, he would focus on loving himself, finding someone who truly valued him, and living free from the toxicity that had consumed his life. The healing wouldn't be easy. Years of emotional abuse left scars, but Michael was ready to share his story, to speak up, and show the world he was more than the man silenced by Angela Deem. He was Michael Alessandra, a man who fought for his freedom and won. Looking ahead, he saw a future full of possibilities he once thought out of reach. No longer the quiet man ruled by Angela's demands, Michael reclaimed his voice, dignity, and life. That was his greatest victory. In the end, Michael's triumph wasn't just about court rulings, it was about taking back his life, his dignity, and his future. Whatever challenges lie ahead, he knew he was strong enough to face them. Michael weathered the storm, and now, finally, he was free to step into the sunshine. Thanks for watching.